we bought a 2014 BMW M5 competition, and no, that's not what it looks like right now. We found this thing on Facebook Marketplace, and it was completely totaled. The front end was completely missing. The frame was completely damaged. The engine was not running.
Oh my God! Wow!
Almost every airbag inside was blown. There was absolutely no chance that anyone was gonna find the parts, take the time to fix this thing because it needed so much work. But we had a better plan. We actually ended up finding the perfect parts car at Copart. And what did we do? So like smart men, we ended up purchasing that car that we were gonna use for parts from Copart before even buying that competition M5 that we were deciding to fix up. So at this point we were gambling. And luckily the M5 competition wasn't sold quite yet. So what did we do? We purchased the parts car and we ran. Next day, purchased the M5 competition, brought it home, and we got started on the project. Only question was, does it run, and does it run smoothly? We got some tools to take on this hefty job. This is Tour Garage, and we do crazy things. In the last video, we removed the broken front end off the M5 competition, inspected the damages, and now, in this video, we're gonna be removing the subframe, installing the good subframe from the parts car, and then, hopefully, we can get this thing running. Let's find out. Rob, being the handyman that he is starting to remove the subframe off of the M5 competition. Okay, so we're taking the suspension off first to disconnect the subframe, but so far we've taken off both of the outer tie rod ends on both sides. Okay, we're gonna take the power steering rack off, and so far, yeah, we've already removed one bolt for one of the control arms right here. But yeah, just a couple of suspension components. That's it, right? Hopefully it'll come off right after that. But I'm just kidding. There's a lot more to take off after, so we'll keep going. The steering wheel to the dash so it doesn't move around, so the clock spring doesn't get messed up. But yeah, let's just take the steering shaft off. All right, so got the steering shaft out, and also we took the airbag out as well, the knee airbag. So yeah, took that out, did some extra work, but yeah, power steering rack's coming out now, and let's just take it out now and then get the rest of the subframe off. All right, guys, so it's day 2 on the teardown, the build series. We just came here about 15-20 minutes ago, me and Prab, and we already got the sway bar out off camera. So it was pretty easy, 4 bolts at the bottom, and then just took the links out. Now the power steering rack is about to come out. I think there's just there's 3 control arm bolts that are left, and basically we can drop the subframe off the subframe bolts. But yeah, a lot of progress is being made, and then we can start tearing down the other car and taking the subframe out of that as well. All right, so we got the power steering rack out. So pretty much we've taken off all the suspension bits and we just have the subframe bolts left to lower down the subframe. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take the parts car apart similar to the point that we took this car apart, and basically just get ready to drop this subframe so we can swap over the other subframe. So we're gonna get started on the other car and start taking off the front end. All right, so we got it on jacks now, lifted it up on both sides, and we're just gonna take all the cooler hoses off and basically just get the rad support fully off. We already got out most of the bolts, and yeah, let's go from there. Alright guys, we got the whole front clip off the parts car. Took not too long, but yeah, you can see that it's perfectly mint. The engine, everything's intact, as this car was in a flood, not any sort of accident or front end damage, any of that. So yeah, we'll pick it up tomorrow, start moving some of these hoses, pipes, and drop the subframe on this vehicle tomorrow, and yeah, just keep moving on with this project. So far everything's moving pretty smooth. Here we got all the radiators, all the coolers on the ground. Quite a little bit of mess, but comes with the game. Okay, so we got the sway bar and the power steering rack off the vehicle. So both vehicles are now actually at the same point of teardown. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna support the engine with the support bar and support it from the bottom as well. Drop the subframe on both vehicles and just swap them over. So that's the next step. right, the subframe has been removed on the parts vehicle. We're gonna do the same thing on the other vehicle. And yeah, we're gonna start swapping the subframe over, the good one, onto the car that we're building over there. Let's get to it. Awesome, guys. So happy, so excited. The subframe from the parts car actually just bolted straight into the car, the crashed vehicle. And that means this frame rail is fully good to go. They're fully straight. The suspension is going to get bolted on now. As you can see, it's fully disconnected. We're going to change these control arms on the right hand side because the tie rod was bent. I think the hit on this side a little bit harder on the suspension. But the suspension on the other side looks pretty good already. So yeah, subframe is going to get bolted on. And everything around it. Then we're going to start to get into these hoses and start to replace all the broken hoses and stuff. We've already replaced the oil cooler lines from the other car because they had a little kinks in the front. But yeah, what we're waiting on is on Wednesday, the water pump gasket's coming. And we're going to take the water pump from the other car, other engine, and swap it over onto here. But only if we have that gasket. So that's coming in 2 days. And we also have new Continental belts coming in 2 days. So we'll get the engine running in about 2 days, but we'll do whatever we can till then. Subframe is bolted up. And we've gotten the suspension arms, control arms, both attached on both sides. What we're going to do next, we're going to actually take the power steering rack, install the power steering rack and the sway bar and the links. Once that is all connected up, then we just have to go on the front of the engine here and start to just replace these broken hoses. Other than that, everything's coming along very good and going very smoothly. So really blessed for that. Crazy amount of progress so far. Power steering rack and the sway bar are both installed fully. Suspension is all hooked up. What we got to do now is just start replacing these broken hoses with the other hoses from the other car. And what we're also going to do is replace that water pump from the other car. We got a new gasket. We got a whole new bunch of parts. I'll just show you the box over here. We picked it up from BMW earlier today. We got some power steering fluid, OEM, engine oil, doing oil change, filter. We also got a lot of brake cleaner, but so we got some coolant as well as along with some distilled water. So basically all the fluids we have other than some transmission fluid, but yeah, everything we have to get this thing running today, hopefully. And hopefully get that replaced really quick where then we can start to put everything else back together. All right, we're gonna put in a quick time lapse. What a beautiful water pump. Pulley is fully intact. I'm just kidding. So it's smashed. The inside obviously looks all good. So the pulley smashed. Whatever the hell goes here smashed. Looks like just a hose. It's one of these hoses over here. Yeah, we're just gonna swap it over from the other car. It's not too bad. Other than this lip right here, it actually tucks behind the crank pulley balancing weight is what this looks like. So it just tucks behind there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts that are all different sizes that go in there. And other than that, it's pretty simple. And along with these different hoses. So yeah, let's swap it over. New day, and lots of progress has been made. So last night we already did a lot of the buttoning up when it comes to the hoses on the front end, and this morning we just came in and plugged a couple things in. We didn't know where the plugs went in last night for these canisters, so we plugged those in. Other than that, just making sure all the hoses are routed correctly, things like that. But we've doubled, tripled, I think even quadrupled checked everything. It's all routed correctly. The frame rails, everything looks good there as well. Because when we talked about it earlier, the subframe, we thought maybe it wouldn't fit, but it fits. So we don't need any body work there. Also, we thought we needed some body work here, but actually the support bar for the radiator at the top, we installed that and everything is good and it lines up straight. So we'll show you that in a later clip. But look at all the work that we've done here. I'm just gonna go through it a little bit. So we replaced this contraption that's going on over here. We replaced this power steering line. Also, we did replace both these oil cooler hoses. And we did replace these canisters along with all of its hoses. A couple lines that go to this coolant reservoir that basically feeds, I think, into the turbos. But other than that, we replaced a bunch of that stuff. We put new belts in, brand new Continental AC belt and alternator pulley belt. We did replace the crank pulley from the other vehicle as well, and tensioner, water pump. Everything else looks good. Obviously we left everything we could, but anything that we could replace that potentially could have taken a hit, we just replaced it. So yeah, ready to put the coolers on now and attach all the hoses along with the bottom radiator support bars that attach to the subframe, and the top as well. We'll install that as well all together. And yeah, we're gonna get the vehicle running in this video, and it's gonna be really exciting. We're really fired up for that. So yeah, let's get rocking on this thing. right, guys, this is huge. So we have all of the coolers on the car. Yeah, like we've hooked up like mainly everything when it comes to the mechanical, the fluids, like all the transmission lines, power steering lines that go into the coolers there, and the oil cooler at the bottom. Everything's hooked up, even on the sides. We've gotten it prepared here to get it started, and yeah, it's honestly really exciting. Finally, gonna get this thing running, and we're basically just gonna start topping up coolant. I've already topped up the power steering fluid, so we're using all OEM stuff. The CHF 11S Pentacin, you know, the stuff's really expensive, but you got to use the right stuff when it comes to these cars. And everything's OEM that we're using. So we're using OEM coolant. We mixed it here, tested the acidity, freezing point. Everything's good when it comes to coolant. Got a fresh oil change, everything ready to go. But yeah, we're just gonna get this thing topped up with coolant, power steering fluid, get it running for about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna do an oil change on it. So yeah, let's get this thing going. All right, the moment of truth. Rob's gonna crank it over inside while I'm gonna watch under the hood. And yeah, let's get this thing going. Start it up. Let's go. Watch out. Oh, sorry about that. But, wow. Sounds really nice. Out of the one tip. That was crazy. It started up so smooth, ran very smooth, it sounded very good. We're actually so happy about that. What we're gonna do now, we're actually already doing it actually. So we've already drained the oil. We actually filled oil earlier and we drained it, and we're gonna do a fresh new oil change, new filter, OEM, and just fill it up with new oil and just get the rest of the front end on. And from there, we're thinking we're just gonna take it on the driveway, pressure wash the thing, clean the interior up, and basically start to tear apart the interior and get that headliner replaced, the dash replaced, all the airbags, the seat belts, things like that, and get this car ready as soon as possible. It's only been a week and we've already got the mechanical stuff sorted out pretty much, and yeah, we're on a roll right now, so let's just keep it going. Alrighty, so that's the end of this video. Lots more progress coming. Like, comment, share, and subscribe these videos, guys. And stay tuned. Peace.